Welcome to Artismia. Thanks for joining me. Today I'll be doing my daily practice of line drawing, sketching, and doing an Earthsworld portrait in a mini sketchbook. Thanks for joining me. I typically like to start out my sketches using just simple lines, straight lines, curves. I'm not looking for noses, eyes, or mouths. I'm looking for simple shapes and simple lines. I say simple because I don't want to complicate things by thinking to myself, hey, that's a nose, hey, that's a mouth, hey, that's an eye. Don't think about the objects that you're trying to draw. Just draw the shapes. And don't even think about them as circles, triangles, or squares. Even though that's what they are, try to think of them more simplified than that. Don't let your brain use words for what you're drawing. Draw what you see. Not what you think you see, what you really see. It's important when you're trying to draw, or when you are drawing, to not allow yourself to speak. Speaking is using the wrong side of your brain. I know that there's no difference between the left brain or the right brain, but it is a nice theory to think about left brain, right brain, and the fact that when you use your right brain, the right side of your brain, or at least there's a belief that that's more creativity, that's your more imaginary side, that's the side that draws, that's the side that paints, that's the side that sees things. Left brain is the side that does math and looks for words and numbers and notice I'm also drawing. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm drawing without touching, my hand's not touching the paper. I'm drawing from my shoulder. I'm drawing with my whole arm. I'm holding the pencil way out on the end to keep it nice and light. I'm not getting into any details really yet. I'm just trying to block things in so that I kind of have an idea of where things go. This is not the final placement of objects or things either. This is just a rough idea of about where I want to put those things, those shapes, those parts, those pieces that make up the face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a mechanical pencil here just because it's got a nice fine point. It is a Rapidograph Kohinoor. This is just an old school kind of a drafting or illustration kind of a pencil, and it's very nice. It's effective. I like these. I'd like them to be a little bit, I like pencils that are a little bit wider, not so narrow and thin, but this works pretty well. I'm going to start in the eyes here with the eye, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do contour. I'm going to focus on the contour shapes like puzzle pieces, and then I'm going to use each puzzle piece, each puzzle shape that I create or that I draw, I'm going to use it to reference as a reference for the next shape beside it. So I'm not looking at this as being a circle and a triangle next to a circle and a triangle. I'm looking at this just as a shape. I'm not trying to think about it as being an eye. It's important. You're constantly in a struggle with your own self when you're drawing, really, until you get more comfortable with it. And the more comfortable you become with drawing, the easier it'll become to actually multitask, I guess, in a way to say, to use words and draw at the same time. Used to be good at that when I was teaching every day, but and my goal here is not to do a full-blown, beautiful, well-drawn, super photorealistic drawing or anything like that. Right now, I'm just doing my daily practice. This is something I try to force myself to do every day, and I say force because, well, drawing is not my favorite thing to do, but it is something that keeps you sharp, keeps your skills honed. And if you want to get good at something, you got to do it every day. You got to practice. Practice does not make you perfect, but practice will make you better. at these as puzzle pieces and shapes, not as a nose. I do not see a nose here. I just see a line and a shape. And I want to try and capture that line and that shape and place it on the paper using relative to the other shapes that I've already placed on there. So I'm looking at this shape and I'm thinking to myself, this shape is about this big and the proportions of it are relative to the other shapes around it. Hold on a second. Huh. Yeah, sorry for the delay here. I want to see the live stream also. And cool. All right, back to work here. And I've got to improve my lighting, don't I? For sure. Yeah. All right, back to the sketch here. Again, I'm looking for contour shapes like puzzle pieces. Using a basic hatch for the shading. It's kind of a cool look. I've seen some popularity with this technique rather than just doing a scribble or a standard shading. This hatching technique. It's kind of nice. It kind of gives it that wood grain look. It's kind of cool. Definitely something that would be used for pen and ink. Using hatch lines. My goal with most of the time on these drawings is to keep them short, keep them quick, keep them spontaneous. This is just a sketch in a sketchbook. Of course, you could spend hours on a drawing, but a drawing to me should look like a drawing. You want it to look like a photograph? Just take a photo of it. That's something you'll hear me say quite often. A painting should look like a painting. A drawing should look like a drawing. Again, when I draw an object, when I draw a shape here, I am not drawing an ear right now. I'm not allowing myself to think this is an ear. This is not an ear. This is just a line that happens to curve like this. And inside of that shape that I just created, that oval, there's another shape. It looks kind of like this. It's like a C. I'm not even allowing myself to think about those as being symbols. Don't allow your brain to see symbols. An ear is a symbol. You have an image of an ear in your brain, in your mind, in your mind's eye, and if you think ear, then your brain's probably going to want to draw the symbol because that's the easiest thing that it knows. It knows this symbol. And the ear that I'm drawing right now does not look anything like that symbol that's in your brain. The ear that you're drawing is completely different than what you think it is. Draw what you observe. You have to learn to see what is actually there, not what you think is there. I'm using crosshatch. Crosshatch meaning that I am now using lines that go the opposite or that intersect the previous lines, the hatch lines that I already drew. My objective here is not to draw sunglasses. I'm more interested in drawing the portrait. And I'm about finished with this drawing and the live stream. Again, this drawing is considered a practice sketch for me. It's just to keep myself able to visually see and to hone and practice the skills of drawing, which is a beneficial tool for any form of art, whether you're sculpting, painting, drawing, whatever art you're creating. A sketch or practicing your skills at drawing will help to improve your ability to paint, will help to improve your ability to sculpt, will help you to improve your ability to do whatever art it is that you are doing. Sketching is a valuable practice and activity and should be part of your daily routine. If you don't have a sketchbook, I strongly suggest that you get one and you just use it to explore and to express and to practice. Well, eyes are a little bit wrong angle, should be kind of tilted more upwards this direction. Nose is a little bit messed up, could be a little bit improved here. It's a little bit too dark in certain areas. A kneaded eraser might come in help with this. The mouth is too large for what and based on the proportions of the drawing. Let's trying to give myself a critique here, but if I was going to critique, those are some things that I would definitely want to improve or change. And now that I've done this sketch, now that I've done a sketch like this, I'm able to, in my mind, remember the things that I think need to be improved or changed, at which point then, if I were to redo this drawing, the larger version of it, or maybe I'm going to do a painting of it, I now know in my mind and can remember, okay, these are the things that I want to improve or enhance or to fix, so that when I do it a second time, it's going to be way easier because I already did the drawing once. That's going to be all for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you found something useful in this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know how things are going. If you like this kind of thing, let me know that too so I can do more of it. Also, if you want to see some of my other art, check out my main channel at Artismia on YouTube. Thanks again. We'll catch you next time. This is not... Timing is always everything, isn't it? Catch you later.